Hey guys, I'm honored to share the stage today with such giants in our industry, and I'm deeply humbled by the collective community of thoughtful professionals that has kept me madly in love with Colorado and Denver for over a decade. So I want to thank you guys for that. So tonight we're not serving complacency, 86 complacency. Sorry, we're out of it. We're going to have to sub something else. You want to hit the first slide if you don't mind? Thanks. I used to think that cooking and hanging out in the back of the house was just a nice way to kind of avoid the chaos of politics, religion, media, social obligations. For me, it was a total immersion in the craft and the moment of cooking. The alchemy and the beauty of layering flavors, conceptualizing dishes, creating craveable, delicious food that hopefully made people happy. At the end of the day, I just really loved to cook. For me, that was the core of what I was doing, and it was remarkably simple. Then as I got older, my experience grew, my role expanded to the business side of things like food cost, labor cost, staff training, consistency, very important word, efficiency, margins, connecting with guests, repairing broken equipment, solving problems, putting out fires, and there's many fires to put out every day. How many low-income families can afford to spend $15 on a single burger when that same $15 can feed a family of 4 or 5 in the drive-thru, right? That's like so challenging, and that's what I wrestle with all the time, because we have to have a $15 burger on our menu. But we're not going to feed America with a $15 burger. We're also not going to feed America and solve hunger with heirloom turnips and grass-fed beef. It's impossible, right? Totally impossible. Next. Oh yeah, thanks. So how do you have seamless sustainability from the kitchen to the bathroom, right? It blows my mind. I'm eating at a restaurant. The server's telling me all about their sourcing, oh, we've got this, and, the salad greens are this, and then I get up to use the bathroom, and I go wash my hands, and there's some toxic pink crap that I'm washing my hands with. It smells like horrible fake roses and potpourri, right? So on one side, they're talking about being thoughtful and sustainable, but then in the bathroom, they're contaminating groundwater with hundreds of chemicals that you're also putting on your skin, right? So you're allowing guests to bathe in a chemical bath and then come join you for very beautiful, prepared, meticulous food, right? That doesn't make any sense either. So we need to complete the equation, right? We need to be seamless and thorough and honest and thoughtful every step of the way. Ecolab has an earth-friendly line of cleaners and sanitizers that are Green Seal certified and completely biodegradable, right? You just have to ask. They won't necessarily tell you about it. You just have to ask, right? Cisco also has an organic, local, and seasonal vegetable program. You just have to ask, right? This isn't about suddenly shifting to, oh my God, we got to go find people that are going to forage, lamb's quarter for us. And we're running businesses, right? We got margins. We have to take care of our people. At the end of the day, these are for-profit businesses, right? For the most part, same cafe. Shout out to what you guys are doing and have accomplished, which is amazing. Social justice model and food service in action right there, which has led to so much joy in that relationship around the country. So thank you for that seed. But for those of us that have for-profit businesses, we're not doing this so that we can suffer at the end of the day and come home and not be able to feed our families and take care of our connections and relationships, right? We need to be profitable, right? So I'm not saying to just start shifting to these ridiculous equations that are like small and expensive and challenging. It's not about that. It's just about little changes, an extra level of thought, a little extra expense to provide your guests and staff with an equation that they can be proud of and will inevitably translate to a better return and a better guest experience of authenticity. A rep from a Napa Valley winery came in to the bar last week, actually, to taste us on some new varietals. And it's a very well-known winery, great reputation in the industry. And we were, Daniel, the bar manager, was overseeing the tasting, and I said to the rep, I said, hey, do you guys have any sustainability initiatives in place? And he was like, are you kidding me? We're one of the foundational wineries in Napa that have started these processes of sustainability and proper growing techniques, right? He's like, also on top of that, our whole winery is solar powered. We're completely carbon neutral. And he was like, no one even ever asks me that. So I actually never even talk about it. And I said, you should start leading with that, right? Let people know. But you have to ask the unasked questions, right? I understand flavor rules, right? Taste is number one, right? You're trying 5 different things and you're like, oh, this is the best. But then wait and say, where did this come from? Who did this? What company is behind this? Whose process am I selling now, right? We have the power to share these equations in these moments with our guests. But if we don't ask, and we don't think, then we don't get answers. So seamless sustainability from kitchen to bathroom. Seafood that is Marine Stewardship Council certified and on the Monterey Bay Aquarium Green List. Super easy to do. Doesn't cost any extra money. Just dive in and get the data, right? We can't see what's going on in our oceans, right? We go to the beach, the sun is setting, it's freaking beautiful, right? Looks like a postcard. We can't see what's going underwater. You drive past barren farmland in middle America that's been depleted with monocropping and horrible, horrible agricultural decisions on an extremely large scale. You can see the damage that's been done. Our oceans, it looks gorgeous all the time. Unless you're a diver or you're like tracking coral reef development, you don't really know how bad it is. And it is bad. It is dirty. It is ugly. Jack was going to touch upon that today. So I just wanted to mention the importance of using seafood that's properly procured. 90% of seafood consumed in the United States is imported. We export so much of what we catch from our coasts. So let's support and promote American family fishermen, right? Animal proteins that are certified humane, pasture-raised, vegetarian-fed. Don't serve animals that eat other animals. That's a little creepy. No hormones or growth stimulants. Use vegetables, fruits, honey, and other proteins that are part of our local, seasonal, agricultural economy, right? Support the people that are on our soil with us together, walking the same path every day. That's integrity. Spices, grains, and legumes that aren't irradiated. Spices that are ground months before you order them and are just sitting in a warehouse shelf, dust brushed off with dust and then delivered to your door. That's not very cool. So yeah, you spend a little bit more on spices that are whole. You toast them, you ground them in-house, right? But the flavor of that, the integrity of that, it's more expensive by the pound. But when you break it down to actual executing a recipe, you use a lot less to get the same flavor expression. So it ends up being about the same price, if not even cheaper. Coffee and tea that's fair trade certified, organic, and ethical. Don't even want to dive into what's going on with coffee and tea globally. But just ask, where did this come from? Were the workers in the field compensated properly? The people that picked these beans, are they okay? Can they take care of their families? Do they have a good quality of life? It's not just about, this is delicious coffee, put it on the menu, right? Take it an extra couple steps and think, who's part of that equation? No artificial colors or flavors, no corn syrup, no chemicals, no junk, no heavily processed ingredients, and no chemicals. Use biodegradable cleaners, use degreasers that are non-toxic. Just ask these questions. They're available. They're usually almost the same price. So this is, next slide if you don't mind. Thanks. This is an example. This is the Sustainable Restaurant Association in the UK. Just as an example of an action plan that they have for restaurants with 14 areas of focus. This is, when you join the Sustainable Restaurant Association, these are platforms that you are required to demonstrate on some level. Treating people fairly, that's one of their little notes, right? Energy efficiency, responsible marketing, sustainable fish, environmentally positive farming, promoting local and seasonal ingredients using ethical meat and dairy. Pretty amazing stuff, right? And it's simple and it's easy to have this cycle of honesty within our restaurants together. It's just an extra moment of dialogue with your reps, with your vendors, with your staff, right? To get everyone engaged. That's really what it comes down to. So I had the amazing opportunity to advocate for our food system. In Washington, D.C., I went with Chef Tom Kuhill, who's amazing, and just a brilliantly talented chef and an incredible person. On behalf of Plate of the Union, it's a group that Tom Colicchio started up, who isn't just a great restaurateur and a character judge on Top Chef. He's not just a celebrity in the evolving food media circuit. He has a deeply high level of connection and integrity to what's going on with our farms in America. So I was part of a group that went to Washington to lobby and advocate for changes to our food system, and the platform was the 2018 Farm Bill. It was an amazing opportunity to realize that we all, as citizens of the United States, members of this team and experience here in this country, have the opportunity any day from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. to show up on Capitol Hill, meet with our local representatives. They are obligated to meet with us. They have to. They cannot say no. They are paid to listen to what we have to say. And it's easy to just shrug off and be like, Washington's a friggin' shit show. Why would I want to hang out there, right? Does it even matter? And it does. Every single voice in this room matters. Every single one of us has the opportunity to say, I think more land needs to be utilized for organic farming, right? I think people need to be fed higher quality ingredients in institutional locations like schools and elder care facilities. This is important stuff, right? We're in the business of feeding people. This is what we do. This is who we are. Next slide, please. Okay. So we're in the business of feeding people, right? We have to stay in that mindset constantly. We're taking care of people, we're nourishing them, we're nurturing them. And we're surrounded by food all the time, right? We get samples dropped off, we do family meal, right? We live in a world of food. 42 million people in this country are starving or food insecure. Have no idea where their next meal is going to come from. Have no idea if they can feed their kids. 133 billion pounds of food in America are wasted, rotting in dumpsters, left behind from errors in distribution, poor planning, bad logistics, and just stupidity. The cost of that food represents $165 billion lost. So it's offensive financially, but it is brutal emotionally that there are people in our country right now who are hungry and have nothing to eat. And we're going back to our restaurants with walk-ins and coolers full of food, right? That's a problem. That is a huge issue in this country. We are the richest country in the world, yet we have children dying of hunger every single day. And we can solve that equation ourselves in this industry with a portion of what we throw out. Not even all of it, just part of it, just a little bit. These are some excellent quotes I've been exposed to that I wanted to share with you guys. I'm sure some of you, have seen these. Congressman Jim McGovern of Massachusetts, hunger is a political condition. We can solve it. It's a political problem. It's a distribution model problem. Food is a currency of trust. Richard McCarthy, Executive Director of Slow Food USA. We work with the exchange that we do with food and ingredients is the most profound currency of trust and integrity that we have left. Really, it's almost all that we have right now. Okay? It is a currency of trust, and we need to utilize that properly. Hugh Atchison, chef, restaurateur, founder of Seed Life Skills, he spoke at the CRA show last year. I don't want to raise a generation of chefs that know how to cook precious food. I want to raise a generation of nourishers that know how to feed people. It's a fantastic quote. Every plate is another form of democracy, Jose Andres. And then one of my favorites, this just happened a couple weeks ago, from Edward, the Uber driver. The earth is reshuffling itself. We just got to keep smiling and be kind to people and try not to fall off the planet. So simple, so good. Next slide. So, how do we get activated, right? How do we get engaged? What do we need to do? There's a lot of great opportunities, and it's a little bit of time, it's a little bit of energy. And you can't half-ass your integrity, right? You can't like hold the door open for a stranger behind you and then be a jerk to someone in traffic. It's got to be seamless, it's got to be consistent. So, Chefs Collaborative, Slow Food Chefs Alliance, the James Beard Chefs Action Network, the Good Food 100 list, these are all amazing ways to connect and engage, right? Local representatives, Capitol Hill, being transparent, living the bottom line, triple bottom line principles of people, and planet, and profit. These are things we need to do, right? It's just about creating this culture of thoughtfulness. I know a lot of vegetarians that treat people like shit. Doesn't make any sense, right? Don't have like incredible stewardship of animals and then treat the people around you poorly, right? That's not a seamless cycle of thoughtfulness, right? It's just a category there. It's not okay. Create a culture of kindness that has core values based on integrity of ingredients, social justice, animal ethics, and the authentic desire to take care of one another. Oh, next slide if you don't mind. We are responsible for feeding people. We are giving people something that they are literally putting inside of their bodies. It is intimate, it is graceful, it is noble, good, honest, honorable work. It is one of the most amazing things you can choose to do, is to serve people. And it is a decision we have all made together. It is fuel in our souls. It is what drives us every day. But we also have to use the power that we have and the opportunity that we have to not just take care of one another and not just take care of our guests, but to just treat our planet kindly. And we all win. Thank you, guys.